Hello, YouTubers. It's Harrison from the NewIdeaEveryMonthers. Sorry it's been a little while since I did the last weekly school commentary. Obviously, there's some things different. Glasses, hair, nice coat I got from Value Village. First, I want to talk about a few of my uploads, myself personally. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll start things off by talking about coronavirus, or COVID-19. The thing that's been spreading like wildfire, or at least in the news it has been. Yeah, it's no joke. Please do be careful and don't joke around with your friends like, oh, I'm going to get you sick, and then cough on them, because you never know. You might be. Wash your hands. Be cognizant of your environment. Please, please, please do not catch and spread the coronavirus. And do not make a clickbaity video about it. This video, nothing about coronavirus in the title. So let's jump right into the weekly school commentary. Monday, March 9th. I arrived at school on time. I got into the classroom and I was already there ahead of my best friend, which was kind of surprising because he's usually there ahead of me. So when he walked into the classroom, I gave him a little bit of a slow clap. That's nothing interesting. So Monday was an ordinary day. I had stuff to do. But during this whole week, we had these presenters from the Calgary Center for Sexuality come in, which means we had human sexuality classes, which replaced our Block 2 class throughout the entire day. Why are you covering your eyes? Stop that, stop that. You're just shaking your head. Okay, seriously, focusing on that, did I find that interesting? No. I find it slightly uncomfortable topic because in the younger grades, in human sexuality, or health class as they like to call it, they teach you about puberty because kids, well, you're going to be going through puberty soon, so you better be ready for these changes. And now we have these presenters from an organization come in and talk to us about sex as an activity, and gender, and understanding what it means to define a gender or a sex. The sex is essentially what your predetermined chromosomes and your genitals are. Your gender is what you choose to identify as. Anyways, that was Monday. That was kind of not really that interesting. Tuesday was the same, although on Tuesday in science class, we got our optical technologies project, which is basically about figuring out an optical technology, i.e. glasses, camera, telescope, which I chose telescope, specifically the reflector telescope, because I have one. I got it for Christmas, which is very nice. We got our project, and we worked on it throughout Tuesday, throughout the whole week. Now, throughout the whole week, except for Friday, which was a half day because for some strange reason, the CBE decided that at our school, every day will be a half day. Sucks. Does it really, though? They made each day longer in exchange for getting rid of half a day on Friday for us. I don't think it's a great trade-off, and we're missing out on a lot on Friday. On Friday, let's skip right to Friday, actually. I had a little thing called math block, which essentially they add in an extra block by making each period shorter for us to learn about math. Which, if you didn't know, it's discovery math, which is not the most efficient way of learning. Now, math block is usually very boring. It was 50 minutes. So I spent the time making these little paper things where I take a strip of paper, I wind it around my finger, I push in the top ends, and I make it flat. So I have this little cookie jar, or bowling pin. And I played a little desk bowling with those and a paper ball. Yeah, that boring. I had time to do that in the 50-minute math block during a boring reading and understanding of mathematical concepts. Although this math block wasn't as boring as most because they were talking about pie. And I'm not talking about the edible kind of pie. I'm talking about the pie that your mind eats. PI 3.1415926535897932384626. You know what? I'm just gonna stop. Yeah, it was interesting because I've memorized ASAP Science's 100 Digits of Pi. They played that in class. so I silently or very quietly sang along to the song. My best friend who I mentioned earlier about being late to class, or not late to class, it's just I arrived in class before him in homeroom. I was the first one there. He was like fourth, and that same friend turns around, looks at me, and I was like, gave him a nice smile. Now that was Friday. Friday was very boring. Oh, and we also had Fitness Friday in phys ed, which basically means the gym teachers get us to run laps around the gym. Fun if you are an athlete, not fun when you have lazy group members who mysteriously disappear and reappear whenever it's their turn, and then it's your turn. They reappear. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Anyways, that was Friday. I'm going back all the way to Monday. Monday there wasn't too much interesting, although I started working on my poetry anthology booklet, which is our final project for our poetry unit in English Language Arts, which was a compilation of our 3 best poems we wrote throughout the year. Our just 3 best poems that we've written that we haven't submitted yet and that we think are good and aren't crap, and we submit them, which I submitted on Thursday. I added some nice images. I think I did pretty well. If I can remember one of my poems, it was about suicide. Yes, I know it's a little dark for a PG channel, but yeah, I wrote a poem about suicide. I wrote a poem about fear of flying on my own. And I wrote a poem about social media, which was assigned in class. Now, I worked on that throughout the week, compiling my best poems. Drawing the images I did last minute on Thursday, and I was very happy with the final results. For my suicide poem, I have the shadow of a boy behind the printed words on a sheet of paper, which I wrote in Times New Roman font, italics, of course, to make it classy. I drew the shadow of a boy holding a gun and flipping a coin. Yeah, pretty dark, I'm sorry. Social media, mousetrap with a phone on it. I'm not the best artist, but it conveys the images pretty well, so I'm satisfied with it. And for the fear of flying on my own, I did a picture of an airplane window looking down at the small disappearing trees and grasses below, which actually turned out really well. I was surprised at my ability to show depth and detail using just one pencil. I never sharpened it throughout the entire usage. So yeah, that was Thursday, which that's all I really remember. There's not a whole lot I remember other than having health lessons, which throughout the week we learned about. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this since this is a PG channel, and you know it's probably not a comfortable topic for a lot of younger audiences. So let's just skip to the fun stuff. Aside from the week, I want to talk to myself personally. A lot of my uploads have been weird, kind of spotty, and that's because lately I've been getting into watching movies with my dad recently, and we do deep analyses of them. My favorite movie so far I've watched is The Dark Knight 2008, directed by Christopher Nolan. My favorite character, of course, is the Joker. Why do you think I have these, man? So watching movies has completely changed me, especially Heath Ledger's Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker, the late Heath Ledger. His Joker is absolutely incredible. I'm not saying anything against Joaquin Phoenix, although I am saying things against Jared Leto's Joker. Joaquin Phoenix is great. Back to Heath Ledger. I took inspiration from him, and one of my uploads happens to be a remake of the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight. That was a project for my drama class back in January, which we got the project before starting Christmas break, went on 2 weeks of winter break, came back, we filmed it in one day. We had 1 day ahead of time planning everything out. We got there on set, I painted my face up, screwed up my hair with some green hair wax that didn't even turn my hair green. It looked really jet black, even though my hair is actually not exactly black. It's slightly brown, but it's mostly black, yeah. Anyway, I loved Heath Ledger's Joker so much that I decided to embody him and get into directing and method acting, which is when things like this come out. I don't know how I got these scars. My mom will freak if she sees this video. I'm not showing it to her, and if she finds it, I'm really sorry, Mom. It's called method acting. Oh, and by the way, we seriously need to have a talk, Mom. Aside from my mom issues, method acting has been great. I've completely changed my mindset. Like, for example, if you didn't know, Heath Ledger had a routine where he locked himself away in a dark hotel room and read a journal he compiled himself of dark images that he taped to a binder booklet. What I've been doing? Sitting in my room alone, in the dark, wearing this coat, with my pocket knife out, cutting up random pieces of paper in the dark, with both my computer and my phone playing 1 hour of Heath Ledger's Joker laughs in the background. And I laugh along to it, and now it's really gone to my mind. I'm a little bit more sensitive these days. I'm a little bit more explosive, expressive, and tend to have outbursts like this. That was probably overly dramatic, but I felt like doing it. So yeah, it's not actually been damaging other than this. This will heal up. I'm perfectly fine mentally. Okay, maybe not perfectly fine, but in the fact that I am cutting my face, that's perfectly, I can stop that whenever I want. I just did that because I'm a dumb teen who's getting into method acting. Don't follow my inspiration, kids, or you'll end up like Heath Ledger. I won't, because I made myself a very strict promise at a young age. Never, ever, ever get into the things you promised to hate your whole life. I hope alcohol and drugs stay with them. Stay those things. That's what's been going on with me mentally. I've kind of just become Heath Ledger's Joker, like the Joker character, not Heath Ledger himself, but the Joker, mentally. And it's been a little bit damaging in terms of the way I act sometimes. I'm not talking about cutting myself with my own pocket knife, no. I'm just talking about my weird outbursts of expression, and my habit of sketching has come back, and I've been sketching Heath Ledger's face all over the place. But other than that, yeah, I'm perfectly fine mentally. So that's what's happened to me. Now let's get back to this week. So far, news is that school's been canceled indefinitely, which means I am starting March break a week early, and I was originally planning to skip school today because I had an argument with my mom over the phone on Saturday, which extended into Sunday morning. Yes, I stayed up that late. And in fact, if you don't know, this is being filmed at 12 a.m. in the morning. Woo! Tiredness is probably affecting me and how loopy I am anyways. I'm talking really fast, aren't I? But I didn't have to because school's canceled, and it's actually really worrying to me that school's been canceled indefinitely, because this means my grades are essentially what they are so far, and starting school, best estimates are that it'll be starting in the fall, which means I'll be starting grade 9. Yikes, how old have you gotten since starting this channel, Harrison? Good question. I started in grade 5. Now I'm in grade 8. Life moves fast, very fast, and it's very scary. And kids, appreciate every single year of your life and cherish it, and do what you can, experience what you can experience, and do what you want. And don't let things hold you back. And if someone goes and tries to put you down and roast you, you put on a $31 purple women's jacket that goes all the way down to your knees, some makeup, and learn how to make a origami paper and pocket knife. Bring it to school, paint your face, and go up to the person, stick the paper knife in their mouth, and say, "Why are you so serious?" I failed because I do not have, my throat is a little bit dry right now. That is all for this weekly school commentary. That is all. Thank you very much, guys. See you next time. So serious. Go.
Go.
What's wrong? You seem nervous. Is it scars? Is it scars? Wanna know how I got them? So,
I had a wife, beautiful, like you, who tells me I worry too much, who tells me I ought to smile more, who gambles and gets some dick with a shark. One day they called her face. We have no money for surgeries, so I take a razor blade, stick it in my mouth, and do this to myself. And you know what? Next? She can't stand the sight of me. Now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling.